Tracer Tong is a rebel scientific genius, skilled in various forms of electronics, from bots to nanotechnology. He acts as an aide to J.C. Denton in 2052 and later to Alex Denton in 2072.
Mr. Tong, you know my brother Paul Denton.
Yes, a reliable man. So your kill switch has been activated.
I feel fine, but it's been over 16 hours.
See how easily our technologies turn on us? The more power you think you have, the more quickly it slips from your hands.
Can you do something about it?
That will depend. You, like your brother, are an extraordinary piece of technology. I never pass up the chance to try a new blade, but I fear at the crucial moment I may lift up my arm to strike and you will twist free of my grasp.
In other words, I'll owe you a favor.
Indeed, as will your friend Mr. Jacobson, a man of much useful knowledge. He arrived in Hong Kong shortly after you did. I was forced to keep him in custody until I could verify his identity and his loyalties.
I assume he checked out.
I believe he is sincere. Now, go down the stairs to the operating platform, and I will examine your systems.
Born in Hong Kong in the year 2007, Tracer survived and thrived in the repressive environment of his native country with his father, Tong Si Hung. Though the government places serious restrictions on body modifications, enforcement efforts are lax, so people come from far and wide to get themselves upgraded. He has more contacts in more different fields of endeavour than anyone on Earth, or at least in Hong Kong, and greater expertise with human augmentation than anyone else alive. In 2027, Adam Jensen rescued Tong from a cell in an old noodle factory under Hengsha, where he was being held by bell tower soldiers. When Adam reached him, Tong revealed that he knowingly allowed himself to be kidnapped by bell tower because he didn't want to follow in his father's footprints. Tong knew that by getting into trouble with bell tower, his father would be forced to send him out of Hengsha and over to Hong Kong to escape the resulting danger. Later, Adam unwittingly aids in his escape by setting off a bomb in a bell tower dockyard. While the guards hurry to the source of the explosion, Tong is seen slipping past as he hops onto a small boat. As Tong departs, he gives Adam a quick farewell before speeding off. By 2052, Tracer Tong has rejected all ties to governments and corporations to follow his intellect and inspiration wherever they lead him. He is affiliated to and lives with the Luminous Path Society, one of the most ancient and powerful of Hong Kong's organized crime triads. But Tong seems to be more neutral where the triad wars are concerned. Having no loyalties to manipulate, Tong is feared by Bob Page more than any other single individual alive, and thus Paul Denton is ordered by UNATCO to kill him. Before Paul carries through with the assassination, however, Juan Ivanovich Lebedev convinces him that UNATCO is involved in a terrible conspiracy, and given the mounting evidence, Paul chooses to help Tong, Silhouette and the NSF, which he becomes a member of. It is revealed that Tong has the technology to reproduce the Dragon's Tooth Sword and to deactivate UNATCO kill switches. Tong is also revealed as one of Alex Jacobson's contacts. When JC returns to UNATCO from LaGuardia Airport, he is ordered to assassinate Tong, but due to the events between then and his arrival in Hong Kong, which confirmed UNATCO's affiliation with the Majestic 12, JC sides with the resistance and his kill switch is activated. To gain access to Tong in the Luminous Path compound, JC is instructed by the Triad's leader Gordon Quick to obtain evidence that Maggie Chow was responsible for the assassination of the Red Arrow Triad's former leader and be the catalyst for peace between the Triads by informing Max Chen, the current Red Arrow leader, of Chow's treachery. When JC proves his loyalty, he is allowed to see Tong, who deactivates his kill switch and orders JC to fetch the ROM encoding for the Dragon's Tooth Sword from VersaLife. This would allow both Triads to be supplied with the swords and would thus prevent a war over the sword. Upon accomplishing this, Tong orders JC to return to the VersaLife building to obtain the schematics for the Grey Death virus so that he can use them to devise a cure for the deadly disease. After this mission is completed, Tong tells JC about the Illuminati and tells him about the shipment of Grey Death to New York on a Chinese super freighter previously owned by Illuminatus Stanton Dowd. Since Dowd knows how to scuttle the ship, Tong orders JC to locate Dowd in Hell's Kitchen. Tong advises JC from that point, a sign that he fully trusts JC, especially when JC is in Paris, around the time JC is taken to the home of Illuminati leader Morgan Everett. Tong suffers from an accident with the Grey Death sample he was working with, thus contracting the plague himself. As JC leaves Vandenberg, the home base for X-51, Jock arrives with Tong, who seeks the help of X-51 leader Gary Savage, the only person other than Bob Page capable of providing him with a cure for the Grey Death. When JC arrives in Area 51 for the final mission, Tong reveals that the cure was a success and the virus is in remission. At the Holocom, Tong asks JC to destroy Area 51 and cripple the global network to provide maximum freedom for the people and prevent a single organization like MJ-12 from gaining control of the world. JC follows Tong's orders and a couple of other choices as well, thus triggering the Great Collapse. In the year 2072, Tong still retains his steely manner from his days of dealing tech in the Hong Kong underground. He deeply regrets his actions after witnessing the devastation and violent anarchy that resulted from the collapse. Still a political idealist, he is determined to reshape society through the free and open distribution of certain technologies, a great advance. Remaining loyal to the Denton brothers, Tong became leader of the Trier facility of Apostle Corp, founded by Paul Denton. When Alex Denton arrives in the Trier, he meets Tong at a local tavern where Tong prods Alex to rescue Her Holiness at the Blackgate ruins and reveals the purpose of Apostle Corp, Paul's cryogenic stasis and abduction, JC's imperfect merge with Helios, and subsequent suspended animation, and the technology of biomod infusions. He even gives Alex a perfected biomod infusion. Tong later pleads with Alex to revive JC, who is in Antarctica, and protect him from Billy Adams, who wants to assassinate JC. He tells Alex about the portal to Antarctica at the Blackgate ruins, a portal only those with biomod infusions can use. At Liberty Island, during the final mission, Alex meets Tong once again. Here, Tong assists with Apostle Corp's battle against the other factions. If Alex is affiliated with another faction, Tong will try to kill them. So on to some notes and trivia. Like his father Tong Si Hung, Tracer Tong has natural dark marks on his face. Since he doesn't have them in 2027, they probably appeared between 2028 and 2052. In 2072, at the age of 65 years, his marks seem to have lightened considerably. When Adam saves Tong from Bell Tower prison, he berates him after learning the truth. Adam mentioning to him that his actions had put many lives at risk, telling him, "Sometimes the more power you think you have, the more quickly it slips from your hands." Tong takes the quote to heart and would remember it 25 years later. He supported Chad Dumier in the fight against MJ-12 in France. By 2072, the two had become rivals. He suspected Maggie Chow of attempting to instigate a war between the triads. He had a contact at the police station who had investigated her. He told Jock to keep a close eye on her and kill her if necessary. He is the only character who appears in the first 3 games of the Deus Ex series. He also assists in each game's protagonists in their efforts. Despite the fact that Tong is not a member of the Illuminati, the computer in his lab is connected to Illuminati information systems. Tong's name is a big pointer to his involvement in questionable activities, despite his aid with the protagonists. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, with the beginning of the Chinese immigration, Chinese gangs were popping up called Tongs. However, it is a standard Cantonese surname that is the character used for the Tang dynasty and more generally to mean China. The name Tracer Tong is possibly a reference to widely used computer network diagnostics programs called trace routes, which often abbreviated into TRACEIT. The trace route program is used to trace the route a network packet takes from one network to another, displaying the interconnections between network routers in a list. And that's all we have on Tracer Tong. It concludes like a 2-part video series on Tong Si Hung and his son Tracer Tong. Let us know what you think in the comments and we'll see you in the next video.
Together.
I don't know. Sounds like overkill.
As long as technology has a global reach, someone will have the world in the palm of his hand. If not Bob Page, then Everett, Dowd.
Another Stone Age would hardly be an improvement.
Not so drastic. A dark age. An age of city-states, craftsmen, government on a scale comprehensible to its citizens.
I'll think about it.